Hello again, everybody. This is Derek, and I am coming back at you with another Wargaming and miniature video. And in today's video, we are going to continue on with our What's in the Box series. And in today's What's in the Box, we have a Flames of War Clash of Steel starter box. It has both German models and Russian models. Enough to get you started playing. It'll also have a rule book and maybe tokens, and we'll see. Okay, let's take a kind of a look at this box. Okay, what I'm going to do before we get going on any further, I'm going to go ahead and remove this plastic wrap so that it's not so much glare. Alright, now this box says that it contains all the figures shown in this photo. And if I was just to kind of look around, we've got 3 Panther tanks, a couple of Jag Panzers, and then it looks like we have a Jag Tiger right there. And then what are these called? BA-64s. Looks like we got 3 of those BA-64s. Looks like we have quite a few T-34s. Maybe not these two. These guys look like ISs. These look like T-34s, and they could be either 75 or 76, if I'm just guessing. And then it looks like we got a couple of Su-122s. And then the IS-2. Right? Looks like we're going to have, according to this side here, it says a Panzer Grenadier platoon, 27 figures or so. And then we've got a Guards Hero Motor Rifle Company right there. Looks like 35 figures. And I see a row of machine guns back here. Over here, I just see mixed machine gun infantry troops. I am positive that you're not going to get walls, you're not going to get plowed fields or buildings or haystacks or hay in the back, or these road tiles, but those are all sold separately. You can get those. And this is a set for Flames of War, which is a Battlefront makes Battlefront's the company, and they make this miniatures game, and it's based on 15 millimeter, or if you look closely, 1 to 100 scale miniatures. It'll also come with dice, a quick start guide, and a rule book. So it basically has 2 complete armies that you can play on the table. That's pretty cool. Okay, now this box has seen better days. It looks like it's been folded in half because it looks crushed here and crushed there. But hopefully that doesn't mess with the contents. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this box, set it off to the side, and pull the miniatures onto the table here so that you can see them. Oh no, it's an empty box. No, that's not true. Okay, so, and it looks like there's a pack in there. It was packed by J22AIN. Yeah. All right, let's start off by saying it comes with a quick start guide. This is going to talk about your Panzer battle group. It talks about your troops and how you put them together. It gives you these X's and O's on here, letting you know who's a rifleman and who's a machine gunner, loader, Panzerfaust, officers, NCOs. That's pretty nice. Now, if I flip it onto the other side, you have the Guards Hero Motor Company, and shows you how to set those guys up with your Maxim machine guns, your DP machine guns and rifles, Commissar, unit leader, and it gives you the X's and O's down here as well. Looks like he's got one of those little megaphones because he's probably the commissar, commissar. Okay, plus it gives you the assembly guide for each vehicle, just like any other model kit you might possess. Shows you how to put together the Late Panther, the Panzer IV, the Jagdtiger, the T-34, BA-64, ISU 122, and the IS-2. Pretty nice. Okay, we'll set those right there. And then you have the quick start guide, which is in color. And this basically is the Flames of War core rules. Everything you need to learn how to play Flames of War is on these pages. There's four foldouts, double-sided. It talks about movement, shooting, bailing out, armor saves, stuff like that. Shooting at infantry, close assaults, tanks and assaults, and then the opponent's turn, last stand, counterattacks, bulletproof cover, etc. So it gives you just enough to get started if you didn't already know how to play. But in addition to that, you actually get a complete copy of the rules right there, and the unit cards that are included in this box. You can see it's been kind of worn out. Okay, so Flames of War rules. If you've seen any of my other Flames of War starter set, what's in the boxes, then you already know what's up. But you get the full rules here, but these rules actually have history and a lot more photos, a lot more detail, and it goes into all the different types of terrain, and basically a complete set of rules, not just starter rules. Plus it gives you a bunch of different scenarios, what the differences of all the different nations are, how to pick a force, some missions, how to set up the tables, stuff like that. And then there's like mine fields and night fighting and all that. And then you get these unit cards. We're not going to go into all these unit cards, but you're going to get Soviet and German unit cards, and the first two cards are your force composition cards. These cards are usually fold out, and as a army builder, you would choose one of these formations to be your core, right? And this one is chosen the Hero Guards Motor Rifle Battalion, I do believe, as the core on the Soviet side. And then over here, it'll tell you what additional troops you can get in addition to your motor rifle battalion. If you wanted to add 0 to 1, 0 to, everything is 0 to 1. So basically you can add one of any of these. Like there's M10s right there, right? And it tells you which card to use for that. So that's, and this German one does the exact same thing. And I think they chose, Guards Hero Motor Rifle. And this one is the Panzer Grenadier German Panzer Battle Group. Okay. So it would be Panzer Battle Group right there at the beginning. Now, from that, you would go and choose. Okay, these cards are all kind of through the heat. They've kind of started to stick together. But you start usually with your headquarters element. And then from there, it'll tell you how to build your rifle company, right? How many troops you need, any other troops that you can add on. And this one looks like a Panzer Grenadier platoon and troops add-ons. And then you've got a card for like each vehicle. And then that card will give you all the pertinent stats for that vehicle. It'll also tell you how many points it is based on how many and what abilities you get. And that's how you build your army. It's super easy. It's using the cards instead of like a book with an army list in it. They go with cards. So you pick a card out for each unit you're fielding, and it'll tell you how many points it is, and you just add them up. I think that's a pretty cool idea. Partially because these cards are, you know, just, they're a little bit larger, maybe 3x5s, but they have all the stats of your units on them, so you don't have to look them up in the rule book, and you only need the cards for the units you have on the table. So it makes it easy to understand, like, what your machine gunner can do, what your tank can do, how many points of armor it has, etc. Okay, it comes with a fairly sizable bag of dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So you get 10 of each color. You get 10 for the Russians and 10 for the Germans. Just your standard D6. You're going to get a ton of bases for your German and Russian forces. One thing I love about the Flames of War bases, not only are they sturdy and they're like have a uniform size to them and everything, they have these holes pre-drilled in them so that when you go and you grab your infantry figure, you can glue it down inside that hole so that the top of your figure is flush, so when you're putting the grass on, you don't have to fill it with any putty or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to try to get these together. This looks like, I don't know what this looks like, T-34. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what tank tracks that is, but it kind of looks like a T-34. And you get 3 of those lower hulls tracks. Okay, I lied. You get 4 of those. Now, I'm guessing those are the lower hulls and tracks for the ISU 122 and the IS-2. because you get 2 of each of those and 4 of those. And then the T-34 tops, looks like you're getting 4 of those, but these come with lower hulls. And then the T-34 this is my guess is these are actual T-34s, which would go with those. Because for one thing, the green is the same, where you can see these are more OD and these are more Russian green. So I have a feeling that these go with these tracks, and then those tracks go with these. These are a different style of track. You'll notice that it's got the lower bogey wheels and then it has the upper guide wheels. I don't remember if this is called a Christie suspension, but the T-34, if memory serves me right, the lower, it has bogey wheels, but the track that goes across the top of the actual bogey wheels. So the bogey wheels serve double duty. They are not only riding on the ground, but they also elevate the track. And I think that's the T-34. This is widely considered a more modern track suspension, and that's why I think it's the IS-2 and the ISU-122. And then this would be your 3 BA-64s, which are just a couple of, it's an armored car with just a couple of wheels and a turret. Now, if you've never been to any of these what's in the boxes before, what we do is we look at all the contents of the box, but then what I'll do is I'll actually bring the models up to the camera and we'll take a close look at the details of the model as well. Okay, now this is something I really dig about this mold, is that it's for the Panther. It's the upper part of the Panther, but not only does it give you the Panther tank, but it also gives you a Yag Panther. So if you wanted some Panthers and some Yag Panthers, you could do that. Here's the turret, but the Yag Panther hull is pretty much exactly the same as this. It just doesn't have the turret. It has a fixed chassis there. So that's the Panther. There's 3 of those. And then here are the 3 tracks and accessories for the Panther. So that's where you get your 3 Panthers / Yag Panthers. And then these are Yag Panzers, which is the Yag Panzer 4s, and that would be the 5. This sprue is a complete tank, so you get your tracks as well as your hull, upper and lower hull, side skirts, 2 different cannons. You got the 48 and the 70, I do believe. Okay, so there's 2 of those. And then one of the big bad boys, this is the King Tiger. No, it's the Yag Tiger, um, which is a complete tank on these three sprues. You've got the lower hull, you got the upper hull, and then you got the tracks. Looks like an anti-aircraft machine gun that would mount somewhere in the back. Yeah, that's very, very, very nice. Okay, so that is all of the vehicles. And it does come with some armor commanders. It comes with yeah, these are different. One looks German, one looks Russian. So that's 6 Russians, it looks like, and 5 German tank commanders. But in addition to that, you also get, looks like 5 Russian in their soft plastic tank or vehicle commanders. Now, both the Germans and the Russians, this would be German. Yeah, this is the German. It comes with 2 sprues, it looks like. Each sprue is basically just your standard Panzer Grenadier sprue with, Panzerfaust or machine gun over the shoulder, machine gun in the underarm, grenades, a couple of guys like Panzerfaust over the shoulder with a soft cap, NCO, there's ammo bearers, machine gun firing from the hip, an officer shooting a pistol. Yeah, so you get quite a bit of infantry. Those are your standard Panzer Grenadiers. And then this is your Russian bag with the machine guns and all the troops with their little bags. Well, not all of them. Looks like maybe just a handful of them have the bags on their back. Most of them don't have any. They've got a haversack and maybe a gas mask bag, but that's it. Not the back bag. All right, and we'll take a close-up look at those as well. Okay, so if there are multiple sprues, we're not going to look at every sprue. We're just going to look at each unique sprue. So if there is like 3 of a sprue, we're only going to look at one of them. So let me adjust the camera and the focus, and we'll start taking a look at some up close. All right, this is the Yag Tiger sprue. We'll just start in the upper corner, like a machine gun, the exhaust, a little bucket. Looks like the inside of the back panel, some additional track armor, side skirts. This might the inside of the hull, and then here's the tracks, so you can get a good look at the detail on the tracks. And then inside of the hull, looks like backside, underside of the main hull. That's the aerial machine gun. Okay, let me flip this around so we can see some of the details that you would see. Front plate, open or closed. Big, huge gun. Side plate with the cabling. It looks like it might be the front. And then there's the all side panels. And you'll notice that there's 2 holes on one side and 3 holes on the other. That's so that the tracks that have 3 holes on one side and 2 holes on one side would fit into your lower hull without making any mistakes. You can't mess it up. All right, this is the BA64 Bravo. You can see the wheels are already built into the hull. You don't have to worry about that. You got that spare tire, turret, gun. Here's the upper hull. The turret would fit in. Now you can see that little inner ring of the turret. So if you wanted to magnetize it, you could. But if you just want to use the turret pin, which is this guy right there, you can see how that pins, that could just fall into that hole. You don't need to magnetize it. All right, that was the BA64. Okay. The T34. Turrets. Looks like you got a 76 turret and the 85 turret. And then the lower hull. There we go. And then this would be also for the T34. Tracks. There's the 2 guns I was talking about. Okay, this is the Panther sprue. The Panther hull. Few extra track links. And then if you wanted to do a Yag Panther, you can use that hole right there instead. And then there's the Panther turret. And this is the Panther secondary sprue. This one with the tracks on it. And then a lot of accessory parts. Cannons. Machine guns. Looks like track skirts. There's the exhaust. This is the Yag Panzer IV in its entirety. This is all on the back side. Look at the front here. Look at the details. You get a lot of detail on these. Flames of War models are top notch. There's your skirts, lower hull, inside of the tracks. You can see there's 2 pins and 3. This is the upper hull of the SU. And the upper hull of the IS. Now it gives you 2 hulls. It gives you this one and this one. You would just have to check to see exactly which one you're supposed to be using. There's very subtle difference in the exhaust plating right there. I'm not seeing much difference. Maybe it's the front. Yep, that's where the main difference is. It's the front. Okay, and there's your turret. Different plates on the front, the lower part of the turret. Both the SU and the IS need a lower hull and tracks. So there's the lower hull, and there are the tracks. Look at the detail on that. That's some good detail. And then that's the underside of the hull. And you can see this one doesn't go 2-3. This one goes with a wide 2 and a narrow 2. Right, this is one of the Russian infantry sprues. You get 2 of these, and they are identical. Baggy pants. Like an officer, commissar, another DP machine gun, submachine gun, pistol, submachine gun. Take a look at the backside of them. You know, these guys on the end there have got some back bags. He's got one as well. And this is the German sprue, which is the same thing. You get 2 sprues and they're identical. You can see some soft caps. You can see some helmet covers. Some camouflage smocks. It looks like he's got camouflage in his helmet cover. Okay, let's flip these around. Take a look at the backside. Now you can see the letters on the sprue itself. That tells me, oh, he's an officer. PF, he's a Panzerfaust. MG, the machine gun, etc. There should be some R's for rifleman, right? So you don't need the quick start guide to show you that, but it's helpful. All right. Painted quite a few of these over the last few months. I'm very familiar with these models. I've got a personal collection of them on my shelf. Alright guys, that was the contents of the Clash of Steels starter set. It's enough to get started playing Flames of War with German and Russian forces, if that's what you're interested in. Now all you would need to do is maybe get some terrain, maybe some buildings, maybe some trees, hedges, fence lines, stuff like that, and then you would be up and running. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in picking up models like this, you should check out my eBay store. And also, if you want models like this painted for you, you should check out my email address. Now, over the next couple of weeks, I will be painting these up as a commission for one of my customers, so I'll post some video once I get these assembled and painted for him, but also to allow you to see, how they turned out. All right, guys. So keep tuned in on the channel. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the notification icon so that when I do upload that video, you'll be notified. All right, guys. Thanks for coming out and checking the video out, and I will see you in the next one.